Hi, everyone. It's Fitz with a brand new product here, new concept we've come up with, 5 for Fitz. We kept getting inquiries about donating things for auctions, for any kind of fundraising event. And we really didn't have anything. I don't like to donate things with a set price, such as a subscription. So we came up with this, and we're going to give it a test drive for the next 2 Mondays at GoPowercat and here on our GoPowercat YouTube channel. Please subscribe to GoPowercat if you're a K-Stater and enjoy these on YouTube. And please subscribe there, which is free, and it really helps us out. Leave comments, hit the thumbs up if you like the video. Give us some feedback on these. And what we're doing here is we donated this opportunity to Meadowlark Hills, their Art Mingle auction that took place in the spring. And I kind of had to. I was kind of forced to do this because my wife, Becky, is the director of development for Meadowlark Hills, an amazing retirement community here in Manhattan. And so we came up with this. It was part of a bigger package. She called it the Purple Palooza package. And someone won this at an auction and had the opportunity to send me a list of questions from which I pick 5, and we answer them here. You get the person that did the donation that ended up winning the auction, or whether it was silent or live, gets a shout out because their name's all over every question. So will the cause. So I can raise awareness of, what's going on out there. And I'll even give you an opportunity to, put your business in here too. If you want to, you should be rewarded for your giving. And we'll do this a couple times here, see if you like it, see if it works. Maybe we'll change it in the future. But let's just get rolling and see how it goes. Our first auction here is the winners were Jeff and Josh Martin. And as I mentioned, it was part of the Art Mingle event, one of the many fundraisers my wife puts on for Meadowlark Hills. And this helps with the Meadowlark Memory Program, which is really big. I have, Alzheimer's throughout my family genetics, and I'm sure I will get it if I don't have it already. Let's be honest. And of course, we appreciate them contributing to that cause, and want to give a shout out to Dibben and Martin Accounting of Junction City, their business. So here we go. Let's get the first question cooking here. I like this one a lot. Are there any concerns about keeping up with other teams and conferences when competing for players due to NIL money? Heck yes. There is a lot of concern about that. And it's a real effort being put forth. And, the NILs, the groups that are putting these together have to be separate from the university. They really aren't supposed to coordinate. And it has to be all driven from alumni and other donors who want to give. So this is a space where, honestly, bluntly, K-State might struggle a little bit. K-State has very generous donors, but it does not have the huge fan base that other schools have. It doesn't have a med school or a law school or anything like that where it's cranking out some people that make a lot of money. But there are some very wealthy K-Staters who have been very generous. And now it's going to be a balancing act between giving for NIL causes and still giving to the athletic department. I don't know how the people with money are going to pull that off. It's not a problem I have, but it is a concern, and it should be a concern for every school that the biggest programs with the biggest donors will just buy the best players. And that's not at all what the NIL is supposed to be, but here we are, mostly because an inept NCAA can't enforce rules, ignored this problem, and now we're waiting on Congress to fix this. That you're in trouble when you're asking Congress to fix things. Next question. How do you feel about the Big 12 commissioner contemplating bowl games in Mexico? Is it safe, and will fans travel? This is really interesting. The Mexico initiative from Brett Yormark is fascinating to me. I love it, and it's still a little vague. They're going to play some basketball games in Mexico starting next season, the 24-25 season, with now the 16 school alignment. But on down the road, he's looking at a possible bowl game in Monterrey, an absolutely incredible soccer facility in Monterrey. I mean, it looks like it's CGI. There are mountains outside of it, and it's about 50,000 seats. I think it's a really cool idea. What remains unclear is if he's looking at an actual bowl game, a postseason bowl game that he's going to help form for the Big 12, or if he's looking maybe like a preseason kickoff game where a Big 12 team might host someone, or they might play each other out down there in Mexico. We'll see how it plays out. I think fans will go, but I would encourage them to fly and be aware. Anytime you're going to a big city, and this isn't just about Mexico, you need to be aware of your surroundings. And while we will often jump in a car and drive to bowl games in the United States, crossing the border and driving through Mexico is a little bit more risky, and I would encourage fans to fly. But I do think, Martins, that K-State fans, Big 12 fans will go. Are you concerned about all the building going around the stadium? Will we keep the parking for games? This is something that I hear from K-Staters a lot, and they have eroded some of the parking, the biggest being the new indoor practice facility. There was a effort to maybe put it across Kimball, but then everything going on with the Big 12, Gene Taylor, the athletics director, said, "To heck with this. We can't wait. We've got the parking lot space. Let's put it there." It did eat out a lot of parking. They are kind of addressing how to do that. They'll be using some more of that rec center parking that's adjacent to the football stadium. And I think it's probably time for Manhattan to have a serious discussion about starting a more efficient bus service. They have now really nice garages in both Aggieville and downtown where people could park, let alone the one on campus. And these buses could run from there back and forth and pick up people that are parking in those garages and then deposit them back in the business districts afterwards. Aggieville had a shuttle for many years, but they're privately funded and kind of fell off. And look, even with the new buildings, the volleyball arenas ate into that a little bit. K-State has the best parking situation of any college football stadium I've visited. And we take it for granted, but still, even though they've eroded the number of spots, it is still an amazing, amazing situation that Kansas State has. Let's see. I'm missing number 4. Let me grab it real quick. I don't know what happened. It was in here, but let's get it going here. And here we go with number 4. Okay, there we go. If Coach Tang had another great season, should he be tied to a much larger, more lucrative contract? Look, they're just now finishing up the details. I expect by the start of football, we might have it. Apparently, the contract is with Coach Tang's agent and just probably going through some of the finer details. But I do believe that if he, let's say, wins a national championship in the next 3 years, do everything you can to lock him up for life. And I don't think Jerome Tang wants to leave Manhattan either. And that's really encouraging. But that also is all the more reason to make sure he's kept taken care of. He's rewarded for what he does. And the same with Chris Kleiman. If he starts putting this program in the college football playoff on a regular basis, that 8-year contract needs to make sure it's going to the end of his career with accelerators that lift that amount of money as warranted. And finally, question number 5, how will basketball's Big 12 what happened here? Did I have a little stroke here? What is this? How will the basketball Big 12 championship game be handled if BYU is in it, since the Cougars can't play on Sundays? Look at that. Let's get that typo off the screen. I'm embarrassed by that. Well, first of all, to answer the direct question, Big 12 basketball stopped playing on Sundays because it was too close to the selection, and it really didn't benefit, if someone rose up through the ranks. So they moved it all back a day and started Saturday. Now, with 16 teams, it's going to be cool. Your first day, the Wednesday in Kansas City, is going to be another full slate of games, and there'll be basically double buys. I think that's why it's got to work. So we'll see how it all pans out. And, maybe I'm wrong on the double buys, but we'll see how it all works out. Now, the bigger problem is on the baseball side, where baseball does play on Sundays. And they'll have to adjust that. Maybe they will just play Friday and a doubleheader on Saturday. You risk weather issues there. You might lose 2 games to rain out if you do that. Maybe go to Thursday through Saturday for BYU series, but then you lose your midweek game. So there are some issues to work out. Look, I understand it's a religious thing for BYU. I'd love it if they revisited it, but we also want to honor what's important to them as an institution. And if that's exactly how they have to do it, then that will be how they do it. We appreciate the questions from the Martins on this first ever edition of 5 for Fitz. I'll be back next Monday with one more and another cause that's near and dear to my heart. I'm Fitz. Make sure you're subscribing to this YouTube channel. Go check out our specials at GoPowercat or your 24/7 sports site of your school as we continue to cover everything about K-State, the Big 12, and college sports.